Hi, you guys. This is Liz Ryan, and this is episode 4 of the Truth About Work podcast. We talk about work, tell the truth about work. Work is such an important part of our lives, and it's our income. It's where we get a lot of social affirmation, hopefully, intellectual stimulation, creative expression. It's such a big thing, it's such a big topic for us as individuals and our families and our communities, the economy, the world, that, I thought it deserved a podcast. So this is the truth about work. Today we're going to talk about how do you make a workplace an awesome place. We talk a lot about how to get a job and how to do your job, how to manage your career, how to manage individual, sticky human situations at work, whether you're an employee or manager, HR person, whatever. But right now we're going to talk more holistically. How do you make a workplace healthy and functional and awesome? How can anybody do that regardless of your job? Well, the first way to influence your workplace positively, the team and the space and the environment, is to obviously be healthy yourself, right? You can't be effective out in the world or in your workplace unless you're healthy yourself. So that we all know what those elements are, but I'll just mention them as a reminder. You're going to get enough sleep and try to eat as well as you can, get a little bit of exercise, and remember that time for yourself. If it is knitting, if you're just browsing Instagram, if you're shooting hoops in the backyard, whatever grows your flame is so important. It's the only fuel you have. So nurturing it and growing it and feeling good about yourself is literally the foundational step and the most important thing you can do in having a healthier workplace. And, that goes for relationships in general, right? Oldest advice in the world: if you want people around you to change yourself. It sounds a little trite, I know, but here's the thing: we don't always realize the power that we have. And one reason that we feel so often so disempowered and beset and besieged and embattled and overwhelmed by circumstances is that we feel, like we're driving a car into a snowstorm with all the flakes and all the snow hitting the windshield and just battling through. We don't feel our own power all the time. We don't feel our own strength. So the way to feel more in yourself and more powerful and more able to deal with circumstances and overcome adversity is to focus on growing yourself as its own topic. Of course, you have to take care of your friends and your sweetheart and children and grandchildren and nieces, nephews, the whole world. Your job asks a lot of you. Everybody asks so much of you. Restore the power in yourself, however you do it. Yoga, cooking, gardening, however you do it, right? That's number one to having a healthy workplace. Circuitous as the path might sound. So now you say, okay, so I feel great. I go to work and it's okay, it's fine, but it could be a little more functional. It could be a little more open. It could be a little friendlier at times. I think some of the processes still come from that crunchy old school place, like effective May 15th, the side door will no longer be accessible between, it's very military. There's not always a lot of warmth, and that can be frustrating. So one way to do that as you grow your own flame and feel stronger yourself is to make your desk or your workstation or your cash register or wherever you work, your physical place to stand, your truck, your loading dock, your whatever, a little refuge, a little alcove for people that themselves want to grow their flame and want to, touch energies with somebody else who is also doing the same thing and get that little bit of affirmation. And you may do that right now totally unconsciously. Yours is just the desk. Maybe you have the hard candy bowl or the plant. Maybe you have a little betta fish if your office or workplace allows that, or a piece of art. But you're the touchstone that people can say, oh, the morning I'm having, you say, I know, honey, I understand, I know. That is a way to contribute to your workplace without doing any big grand proclamation or having a blood drive or any of that kind of stuff, all of which is really good, is just to personally be somebody who's a resource and a rock and give a little bit of comfort. any time at all at work that you can acknowledge someone, manager, employee, doesn't matter, vendor coming in, acknowledge, thank, listen to, right? Just be with, support, reinforce. Anytime you can give that little bit of good energy. My name for subatomic particles of good feeling is communitrons. I swear there's a subatomic particle of good feeling we pass around. Communitrons, they're flying around right now. And when you can concentrate those and share and give them to somebody and say, you know what, you look tired, let me make you a cup of tea. Whatever we can do, it's good for them, it's good for us, and it's good for the overall energy. Especially if you yourself are feeling, crunchy and overworked and crispy and maybe mad, something's not going the way it was supposed to go at work, so frustrating, or maybe some political strife and somebody's up in your business, soften. This is fine. I'm going to do some deep breathing. I'm going to do a few knee bends, a few squats at my desk just to feel my blood moving. I'm going to have a long glass of water. I'm going to walk from one end of the workplace, the retail store, the dock, the warehouse, to the other. Take that minute away. Part of the problem at work is that we're so geared to think brain, calculate, do, task, make it, do it, yeah, got it, woo, right? And there's something great about that forward energy and that task energy and ticking items off your list, but we're not always as comfortable at work with the opposite kind of energy. Just soft, breathe. I love to tell someone at work, I see how hard, you're working. I see how much effort you're putting out, because people say they don't feel like anybody sees their effort. Like it's just going into a void and it's unseen, unvalued, and they feel kind of stupid and kind of impotent and like, why am I doing this? Right? So work is an unbelievable place, can be, to grow your own flame and the flames of other people around you. Some of the obvious ways to grow people's flames at work is to know more people. You can reinforce more people. You can share ideas with people. You can ask them for their ideas. You can credit them, praise them when they do something awesome. You can bring them a tiny little card or a plant or whatever. Write them a poem. We have so much more ability than we think to be human at work, but oftentimes we just don't focus on it because we don't think of work as a human place. We think of it as a mechanical place, and so we kind of fall into that mechanical mold, and we stop thinking, wow, I have so much possibility to use my human power here to help people, to reinforce people, to teach, to mentor. This is how you make a healthy workplace, by actively engaging the human muscles that make ideas flow, that make people feel valued, right? That make people feel heard. This is how you make a workplace functional. If you're an HR person, if you're a manager, you have even more, so much more ability to affect the health and the functionality of your workplace. So this is a business topic, you guys. This is not airy-fairy, la-la, hippie BS. This is real and vital. And so we're learning now to see the human side of work as a true leadership and HR topic, where it should have always been, but okay, at least we're getting to the party if late, right? It's going to be policies, getting rid of the draconian policies that slow people down and stress them out and make them want to quit and make them feel unvalued and even slapped in the face. We got some horrendous policies out there, still common in many corporations. Talked about a few of them, but some of the worst are obviously stack ranking, evaluating people against other employees, awful, inhuman policies like requiring a written notice in the case of a death in the family for somebody to get paid bereavement leave. That is just horrendous. Can't say anything about any bureaucratic or totalitarian, administration ever in the history of mankind if you're going to do that to somebody who works for you. They're going through tragedy. Really? Just, think about the human side of your employee handbook. all of your policies, your recruiting process? Are you welcoming people in, which is the best way to grow a company? Or are you sending out an energy like, get lost, you're probably not good enough for us? Are you ghosting candidates? You can't do that. Can't do that. It's become, people excuse the awful mistreatment of job candidates by saying everyone does it. Well, great. You see people spit on the sidewalk too, but that's not everyone. And we hope that the whole world does not get to that point, right? Okay? The critical way to make your workplace healthy is to engage with employees. It's very funny to me that we talk in HR circles about employee engagement. How engaged are they? Well, baby doll, how engaged are you in them? Employee engagement, any kind of engagement, means getting out and talking to employees one-on-one, one-on-two, one-on-three every day. How are you? How is it going? What do you need? How are things? Anything on your mind? We cannot complain. We don't hear a sexual harassment case or discrimination case. It gets huge before anybody hears about it. Well, you're not listening. The job of HR in particular is ear to the ground. Build the good energy, build trust, make it an awesome place where people feel respected and valued and part of a team. It's not hard to do. It's actually much easier than the intense, harsh, punitive, fear-based way we tend to lead organizations now. So this is a personal mission. It's a communal mission. It's an idea. And we're here to spread that word, and so thrilled that you're here listening. And any of this that you can take out and use in your workplace or other situations where you spend time with people, we'll be thrilled to hear how it works for you. And I'm Liz Ryan. This is the Truth About Work podcast.